So good evening, friends. Good evening once again. Apologies for yesterday. I was away as well, and I was in a low network zone, so I could not take the session. But we have the buffer zone or the buffer day in the form of Sunday, so we'll use those things, and you can say use Sunday as a backlog. So let me share my screen so that we can begin the proceedings. So welcome to episode number 9 of the Pain Points, Finance Pain Points, the series which we have been taking 24 hours late. Of course, I was in a low network zone, so I uh, preferred to skip it rather than, you can say, take in a zone where I can't explain things to you guys. So never mind, we have the buffer zone in the form of Sunday. So we'll utilize the Sunday and still try to finish everything in the same year itself. So as usual, all my presentations always begin with thanking the Lord Almighty who's given me much more than what I deserve. And of course, when it comes to finance, I have to thank my dad as well, who has been instrumental in teaching me the clinical part of finance. So this is my brief CV. You're all aware of it by now. So today is webinar number 271. Season's greetings to all of you. And this is the FPMP series. Good evening, good evening, good evening, friends on Facebook. I can see that many of you. Great, great, great. Let's continue the session. So just get a pen and a paper, keep noting down the main points because listening alone will never help. Jotting down the pain points will always do that. Writing is the best form of learning. And of course, I always say that very fondly, those who make notes actually will make notes. And you will be needing to post your takeaways for the friends. Some of them are attending on Facebook, but a few of you are attending on WhatsApp. So what are the learning objectives for today? The learning objectives are very simple: to answer the pain points that have been asked in the 2023 survey. And of course, we'll stick to the 90-minute schedule. I won't be doing any recaps. I did the recap the first 6 parts in episode number 7. From 8 and 9 on, you can say 7 or onwards from 8, 9, 10, 11. I'll be just starting with the query from where I left off. So I'll be just picking up the problem for as it is. The queries have been picked up from the Google form as they have arrived. We have not tried to correct any spellings because that sometimes, you can say, sometimes changes the meaning of a few things. So in the previous session, we answered till query number 116 from Abohor, Punjab. So I'll be moving ahead with query number 117. And with this, we begin this FPMP series for today, episode number 9. And of course, webinar number 271. So the aim is that sometimes people have posted wrongly the practice pain points into the finance pain points, but never mind, I'll be still answering them unbiased. So query number 117 from Mumbai, Maharashtra. I'm 33 years old now. I want to be financially free by 40. For that, I calculated I need at least 10 crores. That number looks a little difficult till 40. So I wanted to gather at least 3 crore in equity and 2 crore in debt like PPF, Sukanya and all. My expenses as of now are between 1.5 to 2 lakhs per month. That is huge. Once I have that number, I feel I will be stress-free, but I want it before or by 40. Last year, I invested 26 lakhs from my wife and my daughter's account, out of which almost 17 lakhs was in equity and other in PPF, Sukanya and LIC. Wanted to quit LIC scheme, but I'm too late for that now, as I've already paid 7 premiums out of 16, 80,000 per year, and maturity amount being close to 18 lakhs. Split up in equity is half in mutual fund and half in stocks. This financial year, I have been investing more in mutual funds and less in stocks. My total equity portfolio as of now is 35 lakhs. So I have 7 years to reach to my target of 3 crore. According to my calculations, I'm falling little short even after the best of my limits. My income has increased after COVID, but it's being stable now. Increasing my income by 10% every year now is getting difficult as my health is taking a toll. Need your guidance for the same. So firstly, I would say it is a good goal setting exercise, but trust me, my dear friend, you are doing it in a diligent manner, but your calculation is too far-fetched, I would say. So if you want to reach up to 10 crores by 40 in 7 years, it will not be possible, even if you have been investing very, very regularly. And if you believe that the total corpus reaches 10 crores, probably by the age of 45 to 47, I would be still hoping that compounding works its magic and does the needful for you. But for you to be stress free after 40 and spending the next 7 years in full stressed life is absolutely going to take your toll. बोलते ना, जब उम्र नहीं रहती, जब सेहत नहीं रहती, तो पैसा क्या करेगा? पैसा सिर्फ मेडिकल एक्सपेंसेस में जाता है. So that is where you need to take a call, because with increasing age you will not be able to work that much. So I can understand. I hope you had a long query about your back problem in the practice pain point series as well, which I answered probably in episode number 4 or 5. So I can remember that. But don't take stress today to be stress free later 7 years, because you are young and stress can cause a lot of things. So take it easy, be regular, be disciplined, be diligent, but give your goal a little more time. 40 is not the age to retire. I told you I wanted to retire by 40, but not fully, even partially. But I had a very strong and a solid reason, that I had a back injury exactly 20 years back in December 2003. I was told to change this profession, and this is how this alternate degree list that you see in my CV came into being. Luckily, my back injury healed by 2006. I am sure you might be knowing my story. Luckily, my back injury healed by 2006, but it was never, you can say, intended, because I really love dentistry. So today when I work, I'm still working 8 to 9 hours uh, of dentistry. Of course, active work I'm doing for 5 to 6 hours, but still I'm present in my clinic for 8 to 9 hours. So what I mean to say is that I plan to retire by 40, partially because of my back problem, but I didn't do so because my back was holding up well. Because I had inculcated you can say, or always had a game in my routine, and I've never left that. Maybe I take a pause sometimes, take a break sometimes for a couple of months from things when they really get overboard. So that is the same I would advise you. Even it is a, you can say, dentistry, even is a work, even is a profession, short breaks can really rejuvenate you. So presently also I am on a break since tomorrow, since yesterday morning. I'll be back tomorrow morning. So a 48-hour break is a good enough, and I always take this 36 to 48-hour break every now and then. Now what I'm trying to say is that even if your work, even if your game, even if your schedule gets too nervy on you, it is better to take a break every now and then, because that is where you get some time with yourself, some time with nature, sometime you can say you really introspect, or you can say check it out whether I'm doing things or not. So sometimes taking things too fast can actually derail you. So think of long-term calculations. The things you are talking about, like debt, PPF, Sukanya, and all, they are bound to give results properly after 15 to 20 years. So even if you're 33 right now, I'm not really sure whether you, your daughter, or your wife are into this profession of investing. Now, mind you, I'm not talking dentistry, but investing into this profession of investing for 15, 20 years. So give those debt a handsome time, and you can say collect a huge amount from debt itself. Give your debt at least 20 years, and you can have a good amount, means I'm talking 3 to 5 cr only from debt portion, and I'm not talking about the equity part. Equity has endless limits. I was just checking the nifty returns today, and you would find it, you can say, hard to believe. 2021 nifty had 24% returns. 2023 till September had very decent returns. We can say very nominal returns, I would say, maybe around 4 to 5%, 4 to 6%. But as the year has closed, today is Friday. So as the year has closed today for the stock market, Nifty performance in 2023 is 20% to zero. That is how the appreciation has happened. And now it will reflect in, of course, stocks and mutual funds as well. So uh, calculate those things. I'm happy that we are back to investing more in mutual funds and less in stocks. But yes, stocks, if you can hold after doing all your LTI, long term investing part, if you're doing all that in a disciplined, dedicated, and a boring manner, I mentioned the word boring is because discipline after a time is equated to boring. You do keep on doing same things again and again with due diligence, and you still don't deter from that path. That is why discipline gets boring after a time, and people want a life में कुछ तूफानी करते हैं movement. So don't go for that. So great mutual funds are a great way to do that, and the returns I've talked about, and we are going on a bull run phase for sure. It has been the history since the past many, you can say, decades now. The run up to the 6 months phase, the 6 months run up phase to the general elections has usually been full of bull run. So enjoy the ride, and for some things, if you want to take an exit, those who are working, not working, I mean stocks or something, maybe funds as well, so you can say exit and enter into something new. Of course, don't withdraw the money. For stocks you can withdraw the money, but mutual funds you can stop and miss and match, and you can say keep on changing the sips. Let the money grow if the fund is not performing well. And yes, if it 20% of return, compare it against the benchmark. If the benchmark is not that great, or sorry, if your returns are not that great compared to the benchmark, then probably stop that and venture into something different. Maybe sectoral exposure would be good for you. So I hope my suggestions help you, and I have answered your query. So query number 118 from Mumbai, Maharashtra: how to save for clinic for limited income being earned. So if your question, my dear friend, is for you can say putting back money, you can say, into business, I give that number at 10% as per my TWCGO formula. So you need to put at least 10% of your money back into the business, known as the operating expenses, and so that you keep on saving that for a further upgradation. Now when you save that 10%, it does not mean you go and buy something tomorrow itself. It can be saved for a purchase which is maybe coming up 3 months, 6 months, 7 months, 9 months down the line, and you need a handsome sum to top it up, and you don't want to disturb your routine expenses for that. That is one way of doing it. The second way is increase the bar of the limited income. Break away the shackles and increase your sources of income. Now sources, I'm not saying dentistry के अलावा भी कुछ और करना शुरू कर दो. I'm talking of the sources inside your dentistry or sources inside your income. What I mean is most of us rely on word of mouth only for our clinic growth, and word of mouth is purely luck by chance. Some days it is Diwali, some days it is Diwala. So we cannot be absolutely sure, because relying on word of mouth is a great way, I'm not denying that, but relying only on word of mouth as a strategy where you have absolutely no control over how many leads, referrals you will get each week, each month, then you can't call it a strategy. Strategy is something you can have a hold upon. You can control the output and the input both in that. So in word of mouth, you can't do that. So there may be days you get 10 referrals, you can say, in a week, but there will be days when you don't get even 10 referrals in a month. So increase those sources so that your limited income changes to a satisfactory income, or more than satisfactory, if not unlimited is the word. And of course, put 10%, keep in separate, because the 10% plowing back of profits or plowing back of money into the business is essential for your clinic making some change. And clients or patients would appreciate any sort of freshness being induced. It can be as trivial as a small clinic paint. It can be your blinds, curtains, sofa covers, furniture, anything that brings about some element of freshness in the clinic is a good one. So try to increase the sources inside the working of the clinic, and of course, put at least 10% into that. And I hope that answers your query. So query from Halwad, Gujarat, number 119. I can't record my income and expenses. You can't record or you don't want to record. These are two separate things. Whatever it is mandatory by the law. you need to have a source of income in the form of Form 3C or any such similar modified Form 3C, where you need to keep a record of your income, and it is mandatory to be kept for at least 3 years. From the practice point of view, from financial point of view, at least 5 years to 6 years. That is mandatory. If you're following a presumptive system of taxation, you may be exempt from maintaining any expenses if you're falling in that range of 5 to 50 lakhs. Provided your digital receipt is more, you have the limit of 5 lakhs to 75 lakhs. Now, I'm presuming that you will claim profit at 50%. If you're claiming a higher profit, which means you say expenses 30 hai, 40 hai, government does not mind. But if you claim the reverse, that my expenses are 70%, I have only 30% profit, and you're doing presumptive, then you need to maintain the expenses. If you say, if you're following the normal conventional way, then also you need to maintain the expenses. If you're following the audited way, then also need to maintain the expenses. It is only between that presumptive range of 5 to 50 or 5 to 75 with conditions apply that you can get adrift from or get away from maintaining expenses or expenses details or all the bill details. But still, for any sort of return that you file, any ITR that you file, you need to still maintain a source of income. It is a given. You have to maintain in each and every section. So I hope I answer your query. So query number 120 from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, not aware of investment plans and saving methods. This is a learning curve. Make it a learning goal for year 2024. Again, I won't be selling here, but I have my workshop next month. So I'm not sure how many of you are in Facebook. I can see about 16, 17 people on Facebook, 3 people here in the Zoom room. So 20 of you are attending. How many of you are being, you can say, getting your queries answered? Up to you. So make that as a learning goal. If you are not aware of investment plans, either delegate it to a financial advisor or learn it yourself. Now, whether your CA is managing your returns, is managing that correctly or not, or your financial advisor is managing your investments correctly or not, you still need to have a basic knowledge. So either way, you will need a knowledge of the investments, taxation, and the basic, you can say, financial nitty-gritties, which is a no-brainer. Want to learn from me? I have a workshop next month. If not, learn from someone else you trust, but please learn this thing. Ignoring these things is not going to help you. And if you watch this session later on, probably this goes in the month of April and May, this will go on YouTube. So whenever you watch this session, if you go at that point of time, even then make it as a learning goal for the year 2024, so that you have the basic knowledge of how things work. And any investment, I dare say that any investment without the basic knowledge of banking and taxation is as good as zero. You may be a king in stock market, you may be a king in cryptocurrency, but if you don't know Indian taxation system, you are zero in my eyes. I'm not saying that for the purpose of anything else, but taxation is the basic structure on which all the things of understanding of finance for a doctor like us, or any, for you can say, beginner like anyone, or even a middle road, taxation is something basic that everyone needs to know. And if you don't know it, make that as a learning goal. So fear of next month income and expenses, that fear comes because we are relying mostly on word of mouth. So if you were doing active marketing, you would not be having a dearth of patients. You will be having a consistent pipeline of leads. You would be having, you can say, something, you can say, where you can actually command, that yes, I am having those things. And of course, conversion will still play its role. Not everyone walking through your door is your patient. So an average or an ideal conversion rate is great. You can say, if we talk of the numbers, 72% is a great conversion rate. So if you're having below that or a little bit close to that, it's fine. If you're having less than 50, less than 40, then it is a matter of concern. If you're already having it above 72, 80, 85, 90, then you're already doing great. So remember that everyone walking through your door is not your patient. So if you have less income, less expenses, or more expenses, then something is surely wrong. Either your charging or pricing is not correct, or you are not having consistent enough amount of patients. Either way, you need to learn the marketing as well. So make these your two goals: learn marketing, learn posting educational content on social media. Today, social media is the new digital pan and Aadhaar of this world, of this new world post-COVID. So make that as a learning goal. Number one, you have to learn digital marketing or content marketing. And number two, you have to learn about taxation and investment. Content marketing, a few videos are there. Even taxation investment, a few videos are there. They'll give you some basic knowledge. Of course, there is not a detailed knowledge in that, but if you want to learn them, I teach both these things. You're free to learn that. So if you are willing to, I hope I answered your query. So query number 121 from Mumbai, Maharashtra. I have many such patients, ones who get full mouth rehabs, smile designing, etc. Big tick, also known as big ticket patients. They tend to pay full amount in cash. Like one FMR case paid us 2 lakhs in cash. I want to know what should be done in this situation, as I know cash transactions are limited and we aren't legally allowed to take cash of such large amounts, and how to go about depositing this amount in our account. It's been 1.5 years since I started my practice. Wanted to know when should we start investments, and also which is the best way to enter this area of investments for a beginner. Extremely clueless and also scared to begin any investment. So the first thing is, congratulations that even if you have a great OPD or a great, you can say, number of big ticket patients in 1.5 years of practice, and you're already doing very great. So yes, you are right. You cannot receive above rupees 10 lakh, or sorry, above rupees 2 lakh in cash. And if somebody is paying you and you want to show that, then you will be in a soup if you were to audit your accounts. Number one. Number two, tomorrow this patient wants a bill from you, then you would be in a problem. Number three, you sometimes we have a reverse situation. Patient is paying us digitally, but our consultants or visiting specialists, they want payment in cash. Then you are paying tax on that money which is received, but you are paying something, you can say, out of cash, and even you're paying tax on that also, and the consultant is getting tax free. So we have sometimes reverse problem also for cash. So I believe we need to respect the law of the land. There should not be any issues where somebody, you can say, gets our accounts audited, you can say, has large transaction, then we will be having a problem. As regards how you deposit this amount in your account, if you are, you can say, having uh, less than 2 lakhs, you can deposit it in your current account and of course show it as the entry. It is perfectly allowable. If you put it into the account, it becomes your income, and it is as good as, you can say you don't have any problem, you don't face any problem because of that. It is only when we receive in cash, don't show it in our account, and then the payments are made, because a 2 lakh or a 4 or 5 lakh case would have bigger payments also. Then you sometimes won't be able to justify in case of an audit that you have not received anything in digital, but you're paying so many bills in digital. So effectively, what will that happen? That if you have this much amount of income, and the amount of income that you have not shown is also this much, but your expenses are this much. So what is going to happen? This income, this expenses, you're going to have lesser profit. That means eventually less than 50% of profit, which means more expenses. Then you surely need to go in for audit. और ऑडिट में फिर आके आप वहां पे फंसोगे कि ये आपने पेमेंट लिया क्यों, लिया तो 2 लाख से ऊपर कैश क्यों लिया. सो रादर दैन गोइंग इनटू दैट थिंग, anything that crosses 2 lakh, and FMR case is not something you overnight have a problem. Oh my god, this case is going above 2 lakhs. FMR cases are usually above 2 lakhs, or usually say, I will say, 3 to 4 lakhs. So when you know before the start, convey it that it is the law, we cannot receive it, so please pay us digitally. And of course, the second thing, tomorrow, god forbid, please don't misunderstand me, tomorrow, god forbid, your case goes wrong, and the patient sues you in you can say consumer court. And the first thing, if you have not given receipt to the patient, you are at fault. Unfair trade practices. If you have given a receipt, for example, patient paid you 2.5 lakhs, you have given a receipt for 2.5 lakhs cash, you are guilty on this count also. जो आप भगवान ना करे मेडिकल नेग्लिजेंस या कस्टमर डिससेटिस्फैक्शन जो भी हो, उस केस का फैसला होगा, वो अलग चीज है। इन दो चीजों में आप पहले फंसोगे, फिर आप ऑडिट के चक्कर में फंसोगे। सो इवन स्मॉल मिस्टेक इन फाइनेंसेस कैन गो अ लॉन्ग वे इन डिस्ट्रॉइंग योर reputation which you have just started in your practice 1.5 years back. So don't misunderstand me, and don't you can say do those things which can actually cause you a lot of trouble. So regarding your second question, want to know when should we start investments? So the primary way to start is LTI, long term investing. If you are a beginner, I would believe age is on your side. You have the biggest gift any financial investor can have: time. Time is the biggest asset. I presume you must be below 30. This is a perfect time to begin. Below 30, having great practice, great income flowing in, pump in your money. Pump in your money as much as you can before your liabilities increase. And I'm not saying liabilities in a wrong way, but when you have kids, when you have, if you are married or not married, I don't know, but let's suppose you are married, you have not yet started a family. When you start a family, your expenses are bound to increase. And if you are in a city like Mumbai, tier 1 has more expenses than any other tier city of India. So as life takes over, you'll get bored, you'll go for abroad for vacations also. You need to have some short term, medium term, and long term goals attached. So goal based investment is a great exercise. And to begin with an LTI approach, long term investment approach, where you block your money, good amount of money for 15, 20 years minimum, which I'm saying that below the age of 50. If you're below 30, if I'm presuming that correctly, or maybe you would be in that range, a couple of years plus and minus. So even if you are 30 plus minus 2 years plus, you can say plus 2 years or minus 2 years, looking at those money for 15 to 20 years of blockage, which you can do handsomely right now, is a great approach. So please go ahead and don't you can say shirk from investing, and start with a balanced approach of putting your money in debt, balanced hedge, and of course equity. So, and always keep your banking with a HESBA, high earning savings bank account. Don't ever shirk, because this is the best time you can do. Not anyways, not scenario wise, not weather wise, not market wise, but age wise, because you have biggest gift in your hand, time. I hope that answers your query. So query number 122 from Atmakur, Nandyal, Andhra Pradesh. Bargaining with the patients and inverse relationship with money and finding difficulty in managing overhead expenses. So some of us do have an inverse relationship with money. The faster it comes, the faster it goes. And then we sometimes do not, you can say, use money for its proper purpose. The proper use of money is when it is put to correct way. You need money to be spent for your needs. You need money to be spent for your wants. You need money to be spent for your recreation. You need money to be spent for some spiritual needs. You need money to be spent for, you can say, contribution to the society. You need money for long-term investing. You need money for wealth creation. You need money for your sometimes bigger family goals or family needs as well. So money has different purposes. If we don't utilize the money, कहते लक्ष्मी जी को एक रास्ता चाहिए, अगर हम रास्ता नहीं देंगे तो लक्ष्मी जी trickles away, like they can say like the water in your hand. You have the highest possible, you can say largest volume of water in your, you can say, two hands. You can't hold it for even more than 5 minutes. Slowly but steadily the water will trickle away from your fingers. जितना मर्जी आप उसको control कर लो. So if you want to hold money, it will not. So the best way is to put money to use, and you can put money to use by allocating into different categories so that money serves its purpose. Money is not meant to be stored in banks only. It is meant to be utilized, and the sooner, you can say, the more money that remains in circulation, it goes away. Regarding bargaining with the patients, I have already detailed multiple times. I'll repeat it once again for you. I believe these all things start when we don't detail the things in the start. We don't give our patients the right perspective. We don't set a right context for them right at the start. We don't follow the proper documentation protocol. And if we don't follow all these things, you're bound to face bargaining in the end, because the patients, number one, being Indian, will try their luck. Number two, they may actually be dissatisfied and they will be comparing. इतना पैसा दिया, इतना वैल्यू नहीं मिला, value and the price that they pay, that balance and logic will go over on. And if you are charging decent amount or a good amount, then the value factor comes in more. And if you are difficult in managing overhead expenses, that means your charging is not correct, pricing is not correct, that means your input is less and overheads are more. Or the other reason may be that you have a FOMO approach, fear of missing out and buying things based on recommendation from the WhatsApp and the Facebook university. So if you're doing either of those two things, your pricing is not correct, or you are having a FOMO approach that everything that comes your way should be bought inside the clinic, it's absolutely a wrong approach. You should have a ROI potential in your mind when you're going to invest in anything new. So if you manage these three things, see, the maximum overheads in clinic, I would say 60 to 70% belong to three categories: your staff, your lab, and your material bills. Your dealer, your lab, and your, you can say, manpower or HR or staff. So these three are the biggest categories, and they contribute about 60 to 70% of the overhead. And the remaining are the miscellaneous expenses. For people like, you can say, who are in tier one cities like Bangalore, Bombay, Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, sometimes the rent is also a bigger overhead. So sometimes all these four combined, 3+1 rent combined, is sometimes close to 80 to 85%. So, and the remaining are, can say, office stationery, you can say recreation expenses, all other corporation bills, so many other telephone bills. So all other bills combined 15 to 20%. So if you're having difficulty in overhead management, that means your expenses are more. That means your profit is less. That means your revenue is less. If your revenue is less, even with so many expenses, that means the work done is okay, but the pricing is not okay. Somewhere, find out the leaking tap, leaking bucket. If you can locate that, that is the best way to seal it. पंक्चर लगाते हैं ना, कार का, स्कूटर का, टू व्हीलर का, किसी का भी, साइकिल का, so they first fill in the air and then put the tube or whatever it is into water to check out where the bubbles are. First detect, first diagnose, first locate where is the problem, then go on sealing. There is no universal adhesive कि सारे टायर के ऊपर यूनिवर्सल एक टेपिंग कर दो, सारे पंचर अपने आप सील हो जाएंगे. It doesn't work that way. You have to identify first. Once you identify, then only you will be able to take a corrective action or a remedy based on the problem what it is. I hope I have answered all the queries mentioned in this one line. Query number 123 from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. OPD reduced day by day, less implant cases. If your OPD is reducing day by day, then you need to actively think of marketing your practice. If you are not actively marketing your practice, you are less visible. See, we are living in a distracted world today. You have to understand that there is so much noise in the outside world. People hardly find time to even look at their spouse and then respect the fact, oh my God, you're wearing a new shirt today. But people are more interested in the virtual likes and the comments. I'm wearing a new shirt, bought a new car, bought a new house. How many likes, how many comments? Rather than the spouse actually saying it, yes, oh my God, you are looking great, you are looking good. So I'm just giving an example. We are living our life by validation, and that is the biggest pitfall. So if you believe that anybody would notice you for your work, which is already less, people don't talk positive things. They talk negative things more. So if you are visible less and less, if you are not visible at your to your prospective audience, you will have a reduction in OPD. That but natural. And of course, जब normal काम नहीं है तो फिर high ticket implant, medium ticket implant cases कहाँ से होंगे? What is the solution? You need to showcase your work to the world. What is the best way to show it? Show it on your website in the form of before and after. Show it on your social media in the form of content marketing. Show it in the form of educational marketing. Educate your target audience. Educational marketing works wonders for the world. People start respecting you as an authority, giving you credibility. And that is where you find your voice. And of course, once you have that validation point, go in for paid marketing as low as 300 rupees per day. As low as 300 rupees per day, which is roughly 9,000 rupees per month. I hope you can spare such amount of money per day. So this is not an expensive exercise. Of course, it can start from 100 rupees per day also, 200 rupees per day also, depending on whatever budget you have allocated to external money. आप एक न्यूज़पेपर में छोटा सा कट क्लिपिंग भी दोगे ना, तो आपको 15-20 हजार मिनिमम लगेगा, जिसमें भी आप शायद विजिबल नहीं होगे. बट सोशल मीडिया इज द वर्ल्ड वेयर यू कैन एक्चुअली डू गुड, you can say concentrated marketing. Concentrated means you can actually select your target area. I want my ad to be shown to these people, these category of people in these areas. If you want to show that to your nearby people, you are actually in a good space to do that. And compared to what the other ad charges are, social media marketing is dirt cheap. It may go expensive in a couple of years' time as it catches on. But today, compared to what other print advertisements or other, you can say, other voice advertisements are, it is actually dirt cheap. So kindly respect that and take advantage of the trends that are going away. And if you believe that बैठे बैठे क्लिनिक में भगवान को अपने आप तरस आएगा, तब आपकी ओपीडी बढ़ जाएगी, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. You may be occasionally lucky, but overall, it's not absolutely sure that you will have a good amount of luck pertaining to this. I hope I have answered your query. Query number 124 from Gandhi Dham, Gujarat. I'm not able to cultivate the habit of tracking my cash flow, which is the first step for financial management. Typically, always complaining. पैसा कहाँ से आके कहाँ जाता है पता ही नहीं चलता. I'm always highly confused with which option to choose for investment. So tracking your cash flow is surely one of the first steps, because you need to have an idea of where the money is coming from and where the money is going. Because unless you have those things, you are not actually knowing whether you are profitable or not. And when you are profitable or not, that knowledge is not there. I'm absolutely, we can say, surely able to say that you will keep on cribbing, you will keep on complaining, and the inverse relationship will continue. The faster it will come, the faster it will go. So usually people who have this tracking of the cash flow problem is because they have higher expenses. Again, I might be wrong, but in majority cases, it has been seen that higher expenses lead to lack of track of cash flow, and of course, lesser profits in hand and lesser, you can say, money or almost nil money at the end of the day or at the end of the year or at the end of the month or end of the year, whatever you can say. So if you are not able to do that, curb down on expenses. Budgeting is your first step. Just you can say keep writing down your expenses and go after a month. For example, whatever you have spent in November, go up to that. Now December is ending, go in the first week of Jan, go about and calculate whatever you have spent. If you don't have the habit of, you can say, spending, sorry, if the don't habit of writing, start from 1st Jan onwards. In the first week of Feb, track every single expense that you have done in the month of Jan, without being biased, without being judgmental. Just see how much money have you, or wherever you could make a curve that I can stop this money from leaking, do that, and that will help you in budgeting. And as regards your second query, you're confused with the option to choose from investment. Number one thing, LTI investments are gold any day. And debt balanced, इतनी बार हम लोग ग्रुप में डिस्कस करते हैं. LTI पे मैंने लॉन्ग टर्म के आर्टिकल्स लिखे हैं बहुत सारे. Go through those articles. They are there in the FB PhD community, so you can do that. Then financial investment journey, FIJ इस नाम के YouTube पे सीरीज है मेरी. FIJ सर्च करिए, फाइनेंशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट जर्नी, FIJ. There are 4 parts of 4 videos. They can guide you. Lastly, the best way to start investment, the first step in that is, apart from cash flow and other things, is learning about taxation and banking. If you want to learn from me, I'm doing a workshop next month. I'm not sure whether you'll be watching this video or right now or not, because this goes live in the month of March and April. So because there are already many videos scheduled before that, so this video may go live in that. So again, my next workshop would be about 3 to 4 months at that point of time, because I plan to do in not in you can say June. Probably this will go up to August. The simple reason is that at this point of time in 2024, we'll have 2 budgets. We'll have an interim budget in January, which is of course the pre-election budget, and a full budget in the month of July, most likely mid-July. And even if the changes are there or not there, I will like to do the next one before, or you can say after the budget. That is why I planned this one before the budget. These two modules of 6 and 7 Jan and 2021 Jan, before June, and before the budget in first Feb, and the next one would be after the full budget. And if you want to come on board, fine. If you want to learn from someone else, it's absolutely fine. But please do learn it, because taxation is the basic thing. So many things have changed in taxation. What I was doing in workshop was version 1, then I changed to version 2. Today I'm doing a 3.0 version of the same, which is a lot different from what I have done in 2020 and 2021, 22. So things are a lot different now. Things are dynamic, they keep on changing. So if you want to do that, perfectly all right, but learn these things maybe from someone else you trust and love more. So I hope I have answered your query. 125 query from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. I have no real estate investment. Almost all my investments are in mutual funds, divided into various categories. Of course, do I really need a real estate? I'm using gold funds also for hedge purpose. The thing is, I strongly feel real estate is not having anything transparent, starting from the price, black or white, commission, chances of encroachment. I feel it is not my cup of tea. Please comment. I absolutely agree with you. I only feel that real estate is one thing which should be, you can say, ventured into if you are done with all the basics. But I absolutely disagree with you when you say all my investments are in mutual funds divided into various categories. That I'm not sure how old are you. So you must be, you can say, slightly more middle age to advanced. So gold funds for hedge, when you have SGB, is absolutely wrong. When you have PPF as a debt, having debt mutual funds is absolutely wrong. When you have NPS as a low cost pension fund, having mutual funds in hybrid is absolutely wrong. It is only for the equity portion that mutual funds are the best. So some would say PPF equitable to, you can say, ELSS. Remember, ELSS and equity will combined give you a LTCG of 1 lakh. You won't get a ELSS gain separately for 1 lakh and equity gain separately for 1 lakh. You'll get it combined. And PPF, even if ELSS gives you more return, the returns would be taxable whenever you want to exit. Yes, tomorrow that 1 lakh limit is changed to something else. That is something a different share. But if you can spare the money for real estate, if you're done with your basics, perfectly all right. But having, you can say, all investments in mutual fund is like putting all your eggs in one basket, which is absolutely against the normal suggested and you can say recommended way of investing. And the second is, I have a decent size portfolio of 4 CR. On an average, I am investing 1 lakh. Average monthly, I'm investing 1 lakh. Great. Am I saving enough or overdoing it? You are not overdoing it. The more you can put in, it is great. But without having a knowledge of how your age, how much your age is, how much years into practice, how much are you actually able to save and invest 1 lakh out of that, I can't really comment on that. I don't have any loans. That is one of the biggest plus points. Have an own flat. Again, I believe that you are, you can say, having a great financial situation or a financial security kind of a scenario. But portfolio size 4 CR, what age, what liabilities, what responsibilities left, how much are you earning, how much are you actually saving, and then putting in 1 lakh. Of course, putting in 12 lakhs per year. 10 to 15 lakhs is a recommended amount for anyone above 10 to 12 years of practice. That is what I believe. So if you are into that zone and putting in 10 to 15 lakhs, great. But putting all that money into mutual fund is a thumbs down for me. So you can think of probably, you can say, venturing into external, you can say, different stuff. But again, the problem will come that if you into late 40s, considering your portfolio, considering your average scenario, if I presume you are between the 45 to 50 age, you will find it difficult to invest in something like an NPS or a PPF. But then imagine, keep that money in a, you can say, that zone where you can bank on that money for the latter half of your career. As long as you're working actively or working for fun or working for leisure or working for not for the purpose of you can say earning your income from it every month. So if you're doing that, then perfectly all right. But beyond that, there is a limit that what you can invest. So do write back the whenever, if we do the next pain point challenge. I'm not really sure whether I'll be doing it next year or not, but if we do it, you can post whenever you see this video. If you see that, because I'll be posting these videos in a short format as well next year. Videos cut out, for example, query number 125 cut out and posted on a different day. That will happen on my YouTube channel as well for this pain point session itself. Whatever queries are asked or whatever queries are answered in here, because sometimes people find it very difficult to go through the whole video and they don't know the sequence, what exact is. We have picked up the sequence of, you can say, high, moderate, pain, low pain point category, and then the no category as well. But people don't know what they have posted 6 months back. So that is the reason we are answering it right now. So I hope I have answered your query. A 4 CR is a good portfolio, but diversifying is one of the important things that you need, especially if you are in the age of 45 to 50, which I presume you may be with this kind of financial situation. So query number 126 from Panvel, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. Staff management salary structure. See, one-liners and one words can't have an exact answer. Staff management is by giving them role clarity, job clarity, unless you know them what roles they are supposed to perform, and then needing a tracking system to track whether they're actually fulfilling their goals or not, whether they are diligent or not, whether they are punctual or not, whether they are performing their task or not. And if their salary appraisal annually depends upon the goals assigned or the job clarity given, then you will need, you can say, a totally different kind of a scenario. For mostly small to medium clinics, there is nothing called as a job description document. There is nothing called as a tracking system. The best thing is verbally told a few things, then we complain after a few months. स्टाफ को 10 बार भी बोलो वो काम नहीं करते हैं, और स्टाफ को शुरू में बोला तो बड़ा अच्छे से एक्टिवली काम किया. Now they are again back to their old deadly ways of not doing work or sitting free or making us repeat those things again and again. Who is at fault? I'm sorry to say the staff is not primarily at fault. They are at fault, but they are secondarily at fault. Who's at fault? This guy, the dentist, the owner, who has not been able to give them proper role clarity, job clarity, you can say their description of what role they are going to perform. It is not about, you can say, housekeeping guy doing the admin stuff or the record keeping guy doing the housekeeping or the CSA job. Their roles may be interchangeable sometimes. The primary thing is we need to understand the structure is such that we have sometimes admin and reception are separate. Receptionists perform the work of, you can say, giving the appointments, setting, you can say, maintaining the waiting area, getting the form fills if your system is like that, and of course telecalling stuff. There are admin separately. In many clinics it is the receptionists who are the entry staff also, but there are separately admin staff in many clinics where the entry system, paperwork, consent is done by the admin staff, or you can say guided and trained and admin staff. Then we have the CSA, the chairside assistant, whose role is to assist us at the time of, you can say, clinic work. Most of us are doing, many of us are doing 600 dentistry, so you need 2 people out there. Then of course the lastly is the housekeeping stuff, where also you will have a separate person for toilet and a separate person for maintaining instruments and the overall dustbin schedule. So even a decent chair with a 2 to 3 chair practice will need at least 5 to 6 people, or need supermen and women who can do multiple tasks and perform those job roles. So of course these are three different job roles, but for a housekeeping guy to remember all the patient entries is a very unfair way of doing it. Salary structure, it depends upon the job role. A housekeeping staff will never have the same salary as the receptionist, which is an educated person's job. A receptionist job will never be same as the CSA job, whose job is to constantly keep on standing each day. You may be doing sitting dentistry, but most of the times, not always, but most of the times, the CSAs are standing beyond us, besides us, when they are doing and handling the clinic work. So understand the salary structure depends upon that, and kindly be kind enough to post your detailed query rather than posting one liners or one words which can only make me presume that what do you want to ask. I still try to answer this honestly, and yes, I hope it answers your query. So query number 127 from Mumbai, Maharashtra. I'm not able to get enough patients at clinic. Don't know it. It is whether it's me or the price. Patients want shortcut treatment, pay less, want best, take medicine or consultation and go away. Local patients in area less turn up at clinic. Mushroom of cheap practice, cheap price clinics nearby. Difficult to make understand. Majority of patients the quality of work. They want cheap work, which I refrain from doing. My clinic is inside building, visibility issue, less footfall. So being summer, I work on prior appointments. Otherwise, clinic closed. So is it affecting patients? So not able to understand my absence, causing less income or cheap mentality patients. Sasta tikau kaam chahiye. As unmarried doctor, they patients look up to me as I don't have any responsibility or liability. My earning is more and I should treat them for free. Practicing in the same area for last 11 years. So even after 11 years of practice, the first thing if you're unmarried is it's high time that you get married first, because सबको खुश होने का अधिकार नहीं है. Jokes apart, of course, marriage is bliss for some, but sar laddu for some. But having said that, there is always a right time and a right age for certain things. Even after 11 years of practice, you are unmarried. I believe you must be in your mid 30s, 34, 35, close to that, maybe a couple of years here and there. But it's best that you get married now. Of course, that will put an additional pressure that now you have a wife to maintain as well. Or if you plan to get a dentist wife, then you will say, okay, we're now earning with not two, but four hands. Anyways, so your queries of this page have the answer in the last line by you only. My clinic is inside building, visibility issue. So visibility, lack of visibility, you are not visible is your answer. So if you are having less visibility, you already mentioned you're having less footfalls. Less footfall means more, you can say less leads, and then whatever come, they if they are the window shoppers or the C or D category of patients, convenience or dangerous patients, from my list of ABCD, amazing, breadwinning, convenience and dangerous, if those window shoppers are C or D patients, then the impression in your mind is like this only कि पेरेंट को सस्ता टिकाऊ काम चाहिए, कुछ भी करना है या कंसल्टेशन लेते हैं, दवाई लेते हैं, चले जाते हैं, because you are not visible. Why would a person who is in absolute need of a quality work or a work which concerns, he knows that it is a problem which should be handled by an expert, why would he come with a window shopping attitude to your clinic unless you are visible to him or unless someone refers you to him? So even if you can say after 11 years you are saying this thing, so that means you really need to draw a line somewhere that you are probably not actually getting the right target group of patients. Where does the problem lie? The problem lies with you, because you have treated less of that and you want that मैंने quality काम किया है, जितनों में भी किया कम में किया चाहे, I want quality work, and I want my quality work to speak for itself. Your way of working hard is hardly working for you. Your way of working hard is hardly working for you. So change the way you are working. Work smart. I don't say stop working hard, but work smart as well. Work hard and smart as well, so that you can deliver what your target audience desires, or you want, or you get those patients which you desire. Now, if you don't do that, I'm sure that is a very cheap way of looking at the practice. Whatever the number of clinics go, quality still stands by. Does Mercedes or Audi guys complain? Oh my God, Maruti dealers are opening up in city. पहले 3 फ्रेंचाइजी थी, अब इस सिटी में 10 फ्रेंचाइजी होगी मारुति की. हम लोगों के सिर्फ एक ही शोरूम है. People will still go to them. People know it. Quality is premium. Quality comes at a price. So don't expect quality from cheap people. If you are good, if you are good in your work, clinic और खुल जाने important नहीं है. There is not dearth of dentists, as some would say, but there is definitely dearth of good dentists. So if you are confident that your work is good, you are skillful, you execute the results well, you are able to make the patient satisfied via your work, and your patients believe that you charge value for money, those who get completed, then it is your duty. It is your duty to reach out to your target audience through marketing, through visibility. It is the game of visibility. The lesser you are visible, the lesser you will be sellable. It is as simple as that. People will take someone granted who is sitting free, who is doing, you can say, वो कन्वीनियंस डेंजरस पेशेंट आके तो आपको एक्सप्लॉइट करेंगे कि हमारे को इतने में मिलता है, सस्ते में मिलता है, तो ये कर लो, वो कर लो. सो थिंक अबाउट इट बिफोर यू वर्क. सो less income, cheap mentality, absence or not absent, these are secondary things. Treating them for, nobody wants free treatment. You have to change your mentality here. Nobody wants free treatment. Everybody knows that some things come at a cost. Yes, and most of the people understand that dentistry is costly. So why would they expect it? Why would they expect it? So don't think that they will be doing that. So I hope that answers your query. Query number 128 from Nashik, Maharashtra for investment. I don't trust anybody, and then time chala jata hai and I'm confused. कहाँ करो invest? Real estate or share market or gold or government sectors? And I'm afraid of taking loan now. EMI would start and then this vicious cycle starts. Right now, I don't have a single rupee loan on my head. I am most relaxed. One house, two cars, one clinic. But I have two small children for whom I will have to work for next 20 years or so. And of course, and in dentistry, it is difficult to maintain fitness till that age. I even tried to start small hotel business with my wife, but in COVID, we had to close it and we had a loss of huge 25 lakhs. Especially now afraid of new ventures and investments when there is a risk. Right now in safe shell, but I don't know, but I know that when whatever I will earn won't be sufficient. So we'll have to compromise on many things and give priority to children. As a 80s kid coming from lower middle class, won't have a problem, but then question stays, पैसा है तो काफी चीजें आसान होती हैं. Are there any special children plans where we can plan for them? Thirdly, how to curb the unnecessary expenses of wife and make her financially aware. Wife को कोई expense अननेसेसरी नहीं होता. डोंट इवन से दैट. नहीं तो तुम घर से निकाल दी जाओगे, आज रात को खाना नहीं मिलेगा तुम्हें इफ यू आर वाचिंग दिस. एनीवेज, द जोक्स अपार्ट. सो यस, इफ यू आर कंफ्यूज अबाउट वेयर टू इन्वेस्ट फ्रॉम, start with the basics. I have told the basics multiple times in the groups. 5 bases and 5 basics you need to understand. डेट में करना है, बैलेंस में करना है, आई मीन हाइब्रिड में करना है, हेज में करना है, इक्विटी में करना है, एंड हेजबा में पैसा रखना है. As good as that, if you don't do these things, then for sure you are bound to get confused and you are in all this losing out on time, which is the most valuable asset. If it's great that you don't have any loan, try that. आप ये चीज करो भी ना अगले कुछ साल, बिकॉज बच्चे छोटे हैं, 20 साल काम करना है. तो लिव एन एंड लाइफ, डोंट लिव एन और लाइफ. वी टाई अवर गोल. पहले मैं कमा लूं, पहले मैं बच्चों को सिक्योर कर लूं, पहले मैं इतना कॉर्पस इकट्ठा कर लूं, देन ओनली आई विल एंजॉय लाइफ, देन ओनली आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ माई हेल्थ, देन ओनली आई विल स्टार्ट अ गेम. देन ओनली जब आता है तब आप थक जाते हो, एग्जॉस्ट हो जाते हो, टूट जाते हो, यू डोंट हैव एनीथिंग लेफ्ट. And if you don't have anything left, I'm absolutely sure that you will burn more money. अब आपने इन्वेस्टमेंट के चक्कर में होटल बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया पर 25 लाख का नुकसान किया. Earning 25 lakhs takes time in a normal dental clinic. So अगर आपने 25 लाख का इन्वेस्टमेंट किया, आई एम नॉट, और आपने लोन भी नहीं लिया, तो दैट मीन्स यू स्पेंड दैट मनी फ्रॉम योर हार्ड अर्न सेविंग्स, हार्ड अर्न मनी एंड देन द सेविंग्स फ्रॉम दैट मनी. सो दैट मीन्स आपने उस टाइम को भी गवाया, उसके बाद 4-5 साल और हो गए वो भी गवाए, और अभी भी आप श्योर नहीं हो टिल द टाइम यू पुट अप योर मैसेज इन द सर्वे इन जून 2023. कोविड हैपेंड इन मार्च 2020. सो 3 साल, 3.5 साल उसके बाद भी हो गए हैं. सो न्यू वेंचर्स में क्यों जाना? व्हाई नॉट ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड थिंग्स? पीपीएफ 1960s की स्कीम है. गवर्नमेंट बैक्ड स्कीम है, इनकम टैक्स इम्यून स्कीम है। भगवान ना करे आप पे कल को इनकम टैक्स की रेड पड़े, भगवान ना करे आपके बैंक अकाउंट सील हो जाएं, आपके लॉकर सील हो जाएं, आपके सब मनी सोर्सेस सील हो जाएं, इवन द आईटी डिपार्टमेंट कैन नॉट टच योर पीपीएफ अकाउंट, इट इज इम्यून फ्रॉम एवरीथिंग। That is the only instrument in the society, only instrument in India which is immune from everything. So PPF is immune. Hybrid के लिए एनपीएस है, नेशनल पेंशन स्कीम, लोएस्ट कॉस्ट पेंशन फंड, लोएस्ट कॉस्ट यू कैन से रिटायरमेंट सॉल्यूशन। सो सेफ शेल में जाने से नहीं होगा, बच्चे छोटे हैं तो इक्विटी एक्सपोजर चाहिए। ऑफ कोर्स इफ यू नीड टू हैव अ 20 year टाइम जोन इन प्लान फ्रॉम राइट नाउ, स्पेशली फॉर योर स्मॉल किड्स। देखो बच्चे बड़े होंगे, बच्चों की एजुकेशन आएगी, बच्चों की मैरिज आएगी, you will need money for that things, but if you are not investing you are losing out on time, you lose the advantage of compounding। बच्चे आपके, हम लोग देखते हैं डॉक्टर्स के साथ ये बहुत कॉमनली होता है, बहुत कॉमनली, they are at the retirement age of 55 to 56 and you can say उनके बच्चे अभी सेटल ही नहीं हुए होते हैं। I'll give you my example. My elder one is going to turn 17 in 3 months. She will be, you can say, in March, she'll be 17. But my younger one will be 7 in January. Almost 10 years of gap, not by choice. If I have to give you one line answer, we planned like everyone does after 4 to 5 years. Of course, the answer in one line is medical negligence. It can happen to anyone. It happened to me also. So because of that, we lost 4 or 5 years. Now our kid is 7 years old. I was telling my wife 8 9 months back. My daughter appeared in 10th board exams. My elder one appeared in 10th board exams. I said I was 46 back then. I said I am 46. 10 years later, we'll be doing the same thing with the younger one. And I'll be 56. 56 साल की उम्र में हमारा बच्चा 10th कर रहा है। एंड ऑफ कोर्स आई एम नॉट द ओनली वन, दिस हैपेंस टू मेनी डॉक्टर्स। ठीक है, 56 साल में लोग बच्चे ग्रेजुएशन कर जाते हैं, वी आर मे बी अ लिटिल मोर लेट देन दैट, बट दैट इज द स्टोरी। बच्चा सेटल तो नहीं होता ना, बच्चा अर्निंग तो नहीं स्टार्ट करता था, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट पीपल कीप ऑन वर्किंग, they keep on working till the age of 60 65 70। देर इज एक्चुअली यू कैन से नो गोल्स टाइड टू इट। सारी जिंदगी काम करते करते गुजार दी, जब टाइम आया एंजॉय करने का, घूमने का फिरने का, बच्चे कहते हैं हम तो जा रहे हैं आउट ऑफ इंडिया, कनाडा ऑस्ट्रेलिया यूएस। ठीक है ना, उसके बाद बच्चा बाहर गया, वो पूछे ना पूछे, आए ना आए, सपोर्ट करे ना करे, इज अ सेकेंडरी क्वेश्चन। Even then, if he stays here, supports you, whatever, you want to go abroad now for a vacation or you want to go anywhere for a vacation, आपको पार्किंसंस हो रहा है, अल्जाइमर्स हो रहा है, कुछ याद नहीं हो रहा है, एंड यू आर नॉट एबल टू हैव मेंटेन अ गुड हेल्थ, उस एज में घूम के फिर के क्या करोगे व्हेन यू आर लूजिंग आउट द प्राइम ऑफ योर लाइफ। सो डॉक्टर्स हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग वेरी वेरी क्लियरली। Even if you are an 80s kid, so I believe that you would be at least in the late 30s if not more। so अगर आप 35 36 37 38 39 साल के हो, लेस देन 40 years के हो आप, so even if you are an early 80s kid, you must be over 40 also. So you understand this thing. The question will say, yes, money is important. Money is not everything, but money is actually very important. You can't pay your bills with hugs and kisses. You still need money for that. ठीक है ना, बोलो कि मेरे से 10 हग ले लो, 15 किस ले लो, मेरा बिल कर दो, you it doesn't happen that way। You still have to need money for that। And then your question, second question, special children plans, where can we plan for? You can have children funds, but yes, firstly have the basics right for you। If you are confused of yourself, if आपके basics नहीं covered है, आपका retirement नहीं covered है, तो बच्चों का क्या होगा? बच्चों को अच्छी एजुकेशन दो, बच्चों के फ्यूचर की चिंता बाद में करो। इन टर्म्स ऑफ दैट, दे ऑलवेज से इन एयरलाइंस ऑल्सो, दूसरों को मास्क पहनाने से पहले आप खुद का मास्क पहने, खुद जिंदा रहोगे तो और लोगों को बचा लोगे। सो दैट इज द वे इट वर्क्स। सो इट इज वेरी सिंपल टू से बच्चों के लिए प्लान खरीदा, लेकिन अपनी रिटायरमेंट के लिए कुछ नहीं किया। फर्स्ट प्लान फॉर योर ओन रिटायरमेंट, देन प्लान फॉर योर किड्स एजुकेशन, किड्स प्लान, किड्स स्पेशल एजुकेशन, वॉट एवर इट इज। देन लास्टली, हाउ टू कर्ब द अननेसेसरी एक्सपेंसेस ऑफ वाइफ, शो हर द ट्रू पिक्चर। I'm not saying that she actually does unnecessary expenses. Show her the actual true picture of what your financials are. Normally, it is a taboo to discuss money in the family, usually, especially females. And I must tell you, females are born economists. They are the budget planners of every house without a formal knowledge, and we keep them away from finances. We don't discuss these things in the family. So make her financial aware by showing her the true financial picture, lay out the goals, plan out the things with her, engage in a discussion that yes, we plan to go till here, and this is the way our financials lie, and this is the solution that I expect. And of course, if she is your true spouse, is your true, you can say, partner, she'll understand this thing, and of course things can get better for you. So I hope I answer your query. So query number 129 from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Not getting a good payment even after 10 years of experience. People hire as an associate dentist but want associate dentist plus assistant plus receptionist but pay less than a receptionist. See, experience and skill are two different things. People equate skill to experience. So if somebody, please don't mind my words, but if somebody is paying you a receptionist salary, then probably you are not that skillful in his eyes. So you need to first command a respect in that regard, where you command a price because of your skill, that you become an indispensable part of the clinic. If your work speaks for itself, even if you're experienced or non-experienced, if your skill level is there, then nobody can, you can say, take you for a ride. They'll believe that the maximum amount of work, clinical work they can delegate to you, that is more. But if you are not happy and you are skillful, you can always change the place. Always change the place. If you are indispensable, that employer will stop you from changing the job and make you stick to that. But if you are like any other routine dentist without any special skill, which separates you from the crowd, then this problem, this question you will have even after 15 years of experience, even after 20 years of experience. So that is why I said, please don't mind my words. You need to differentiate yourself. Have that one or two skills of dentistry which can set you apart and make you an indispensable part of the clinic. So if you're working as an associate dentist, even after so many years of practice, I can believe this is from a female dentist. So usually have that reason of not opening up the clinic, sometimes because of the situation, sometimes because of the, you can say, husband's transferable job, or sometimes because of many other reasons. But yes, sometimes doing multitasking a few days when, or doubling up as staff, is not at all bad, but make it clear that if you are doing that, you expect certain extra pay. But as I said, if you are skillful in their eyes, they'll always pay. But if you are not, then they'll be happy to get rid of you. That is why I said, please don't mind my words. So make yourself skillful and separatable. Don't look at the E side or the experience side. Look at the skill side or the S side. I hope that answers your question. Query from Delhi, India, 130. Not able to manage money. Maximum amount goes in EMI. It is as simple. When you have more expenses and less of income, this is bound to happen. And then when there are more expenses, more money is going in EMI, because we are invested in a vicious loan cycle. The best solution for you is take the help of your family, extended family, friends, relatives, and pay back the money as soon as possible with a prior closure of interest, whatever prior closure of loans, and then vow to never take a loan. You can say, make yourself so much independent. If you are taking a loan, you are not actually realizing the financials कि आपको कितना EMI देना पड़ेगा. Do you have a fixed source of income? If you don't have a fixed source of income, if you don't have a strategically flowing money in your clinic, then who is going to save you from the clutches of the banks if they come to, you can say, clutch your property or whatever you have kept as a collateral? So maximum amount going in EMI is absolutely your fault. You did not anticipate or foresee that loans, how am I going to pay back? The first thing is get rid of that monkey from your back, which is known as the loan one. So once you pay back the loans, perfectly, life would be easy for you. So query from Noida Extension, Delhi NCR, India. Patient flow and payments, cash flow, paying capacity of patients is very less. Somebody from Noida, Gurgaon, Delhi NCR taking patients capacity is less. I don't trust you. Sorry for that. पीछे 1 या 2 महीने पहले गुड़गांव में, दिल्ली एनसीआर ओनली, फ्लैट्स बिक रहे थे. Those flats were valued at 100 crores. In 7 minutes, 7 flat minutes, booking was closed. And it was a huge number of flats, not कि 2 4 5 flat थे. People are buying flats worth 100 crores and you're saying patient paying capacity in a metro is less. You're actually kidding or wanting me to believe that. I was also shocked when I read this thing. So patient flow and payments, if they are not consistent, then you are not visible. You are not visible to your target audience. Cases हैं तो उनको दिखाओ, marketing करो, content marketing करो, educate करो, reach out to people, targeted approach रखो. सीधा पेड एडवर्टाइजमेंट पे नहीं जाना है. पहले अपना एक बनाओ वैलिडेशन पॉइंट where people can actually correlate with you. Yes, he has some credibility, some authority, some reputation through your content. Start educating people. फिर मत बोलना कि ये कंटेंट बनाने से क्या फायदा, कोई देखता तो है नहीं, और everybody is making same kind of content. What will I offer something new? Or I am shy of facing the camera. I can't do it. We have 1,000 excuses, 999 excuses, and one reason of doing it out of 1,000. Have that one reason. बिना कुछ किए कुछ रिजल्ट नहीं मिलता, बिना एफर्ट डाले रिजल्ट नहीं मिलेगा. और अगर आप ऐसा सोचते हैं कि मिलेगा, देन यू आर एक्चुअली फूलिंग योरसेल्फ. कैश फ्लो इंप्रूव तभी होगा ना अगर पेशेंट ओपीडी फ्लो बढ़ेगा. अगर ओपीडी फ्लो नहीं बढ़ेगा, कैश फ्लो, फिक्स्ड एक्सपेंसेस फिर भी रहेंगे, तो कैश फ्लो तो नेगेटिव में रहेगा ना, रेड जोन में जाएगा ही जाएगा. Paying capacity of patients is not less. Your target group is wrong. You're not reaching out to target group. But then ये सारा कुछ करने का फायदा तो है अगर आपकी स्किल में something special है. If there is nothing special in your skill, then nobody can help you. So make yourself skillful. If you're lacking in certain things, you can say improve them. Then have good cases. Then showcase that. Educational marketing, content marketing, and then going for paid marketing with a targeted approach. Choose your patients before choose your patient before your patients choose you. I hope I've answered your query. Query from Yavatmal, Maharashtra. Patient for FMR does lot of bargaining. FMR in sense of RCT and full coverage ground. Okay, great. As per competition, need a patient, fear of losing patient after a year or two, the patient gets dislodged. Ground which they say we had paid already. Scaling is always free as we are doing many RCTs. So please consider Doc Saab. The only thing is, if you don't set the right context at the start, you will continue to face these problems. And if you're facing these problems, you know whom to blame. You are the one whom to blame. Multiple RCTs ground करके full mouth cases कर रहे हैं, and then you fall into that trap. Doc साहब 5 fillings कर रहे हैं, एक free कर दो, 5 + 1 free. See, if you're doing 6 fillings in one sitting, I always tell the patient very clearly, भाई साहब आप टाइम बचा रहे हैं, सेटिंग बचा रहे हैं, पेट्रोल बचा रहे हैं, वेटिंग टाइम बचा रहे हैं, अपना जो भी है रिपीट टर्नओवर बचा रहे हैं. सो एक्चुअली इफ यू आर चार्जिंग लेट्स सपोज 1,000 फॉर रेस्टोरेशन, आप बोल रहे हैं कि मैं 6,000 के काम आपको 5,000 में कर दूं, 5 + 1 फ्री करके, यू आर एक्चुअली सेविंग ऑन ऑल दो थिंग्स, पेट्रोल, टाइम, मनी, एनर्जी, रिसोर्सेज, व्हाटएवर यू कैन से. You should actually pay me 7,000 for 6 fillings. I am making you save more than 1,000 rupees. So you should pay me 1,000 more rather than you asking me to reduce 1,000. Understand that very clearly and be vocal to the patient. So if you set the right context, start with consent form. This tells me that you are not using any consent form. How do I judge from that? Because patients say they are paid already. If they believe that it comes with the terms and conditions set that कि रूट कनाल ऐसे होगा, क्राउन ऐसे होगा, फेल हो सकता तो ये कंडीशंस हैं, उसके ऊपर ये है, there are so many things. Mention it detail. ट्रीटमेंट अप्रूवल फॉर्म में मेंशन कीजिए, सिग्नेचर्स लीजिए, कंसेंट पे सिग्नेचर्स लीजिए. Once you take those signatures, the patients are not going to run away. They'll realize, they will actually realize where does the problem lie. Scaling is free. If you want to, you can say reward them for being honest and loyal patient, great, do it for free. But otherwise, never ever do it for free. Never ever do it for free. फ्री चीजों की कोई कीमत नहीं होती है. यू कैन सी योर सेल्फ, how many people are there in the Zoom room, because this is free. Somebody is spending time, wasting time. Even when on a vacation, I'm doing this thing to educate them who have posted their problem. People, they don't get, you can say, they don't want solutions. They have began to enjoy victimhood. मैं कितना दुखी हूं इसको मैंने एक बार लिख दिया, मेरी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व. If this was reflecting it, people can't attend live, it is end of the year, people are on vacation, fine. It should reflect in the YouTube views of the those things. जितने लोगों ने प्रॉब्लम डाली है उतने व्यूज तो आते. Again, I'm not complaining here. What I'm saying here is that people have began to enjoy victim mode कि हमारे लिख दिया प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गई. And that is where the problem comes. That is where the problem comes. So if you are doing that out of anything, you can say, you should not be expecting results from your patients. So don't do it for free. Free things are never respected. And of course, why I wanted to finish all these things in this year is because I also don't want to do many things free from new year onwards. This is also my resolution. Probably free things are also not working. Let's now stick on to the paid jobs in 2024. Maybe that can change the way people look at whatever I do. Again, just a comparison, not a cribbing or a complaining thing. So don't take me unrealistically. So I hope this answers your query. Query number 133 from Shioganj, Rajasthan. My brother is posted in Rajasthan. I never knew that this named city is there in Rajasthan. Okay, number one is Rapat. What is Rapat? Anyways, rate variation and value for money, that will be there. That will always be there because people are situated in different tiers of areas in the same city as well. Now, Mumbai has a, you can say, a area like Nala Sopara and a Virar Vasai, and Mumbai has an area like Andheri East or Andheri West. It has an area like Bandra or Kolaba. So you can't compare a Dadar with a Bandra and a Virar Vasai with a Andheri. So there will be rate variation and value for money. The only question is, what do you want as a change? If you want that people should respect you, you need to charge well, and you need to charge well for the value of money that you are, you can say for the value of the treatment that you are offering. So it should always be over delivery and under promise. That is the mantra that I live by with. And regarding work-life balance, this is very, very important. You can say it does not mean how busy you are, but if you don't take time for balancing your karma in the form of career, wealth creation, recreation, time management, your spiritual growth, your me time, your contribution to the society, and of course, relationships and family. If you're not balancing yourself, and of course, having one outdoor game in your schedule, if you're not balancing all these things in your life, then आपका सारा कमाया हुआ पैसा is zero, is zero, is zero. So it doesn't matter how much you earn. It matters how much money you put into, you can say, get into there. So have that work-life balance because it is very important for own rejuvenation. Start living an and life, not an or life. I want career or relationships. I want career or money. I want career or recreation. I want career or family. I want career or spirituality. It doesn't work there. I want career and family and relationships and wealth creation and recreation and contribution to society and spirituality and an outdoor game and a me time. All these things are and. Start living an and life, not an or life. I hope that answers your query. So Dr. Shilpa, I'll get back to queries just when I end the session around 9 o'clock. So I'll get back to all the queries that are there in the chat box. So query number 134 from Jalandhar, Punjab. Main pain point is how to scale up the practice. How to create a wow factor for patients. Simple thing is increase the value that you provide and you will be able to help out more and more patients. If you under promise and over deliver, you will be doing it. Now, if you mention the word scale up the practice, I will believe you have already attained the success part. If you attain the success part, then the wow factor is needed before the success part, not at the scaling stage. Now, if we say start, survival, struggle, start, struggle, start, struggle, survive. Once you open up, and then is the stable phase. Start, struggle, survive, stable, success, and then scale. Scale is the last stage. Scale when you venture into different verticals, horizontally or vertically of dentistry. Maybe issue franchises, maybe open up more chains, more clinics. So that is the next step. So I believe that you want to increase the practice level you are having. So I would say if you are at a stable phase, want to go up to success phase, scaling up from stable phase to success phase, the best way is price is the biggest filter. And quality is another big differentiator. Start offering better quality to lesser people, but don't compromise on the marketing part so that you have consistent leads flowing in. You're doing quality work, you're getting paid, filtering out the unnecessary ones. Those who can't afford you, those who don't need quality treatment, automatically filtering. So marketing is what will differentiate along with over delivery, offering quality service at a justifiably viable price to you, which should be a win-win-win. Win for your staff, win for your patients, and win for you as well. The staff is happy, the patients are happy that we got value for our money. Nobody says cheap or expensive. They always say, whatever paid for, I got value for my money. Somebody spending 10,000, somebody spending 1 lakh if for same service. Just an example. So 10 गुना देके मतलब 100 रुपए दिया या 1000 रुपए दिया या 1000 दिया 10,000 दिया या 10,000 दिया 1 लाख दिया. Just an example. So people won't say I got it done for cheap. I got it done very अच्छा था पर expensive था. They always say I got value for my money. So increase the value that you're providing. Small little things are going to matter a big one. I have a YouTube video on that, how to create value in your practice. A 2 set of videos. Watch those. And of course, the tagline of that is increasing the wow factor in your practice. If you get that, search that, and you will get results. And I hope I have answered your query. So query number 135 from Anandpur Sahib, Punjab. Overburdened due to very few dentists focus on quality work. I get too many referrals. Wow, problem of plenty. It's good for my practice, but I feel overburdened. You bound to if you are the only one. Not getting experienced dentist as staff. You don't need experienced, you need skillful. I've reduced my working hours to decrease the pressure and exhaustion, but that is affecting my income. Simply saying, if you're overburdened because of work, it's better that you start delegating. You don't need experienced dentist. A fresher can be good as well. I was in an event in Bangalore last week. Dr. Velumani, if you're aware who he is the guy who started Thyrocare in Mumbai. So the diagnostic laboratory. Of course, he has now exited, and he came to Mumbai. He fondly tells his story. He said, I came to Mumbai with 500 in my body. I said, he'll ask, why 500 in my body? Because the pockets get picked. जेब काट लेता था कोई, इसलिए 500 रुपए अपनी बॉडी के साथ चिपका के मुंबई आया था. And he was one guy who you can say had done, can say 1 month, and his father was not there. He passed away at a very young age, and his the mother, you can say, reared all the 5 kids. All of them graduate from University of Madras, and all of them postgraduate also from the University of Salem Shad or Madras. I don't remember, but yes, all 5 children postgraduates. And he tells this thing that I sat in, I got 200 out of 200 in my maths exam in +2, but BCom, he took an admission in BCom because the fees was 300 rupees per year, and BSc fees was, a science student, he was 400 rupees per year. So because of 100 rupees, he shifted to BCom. Such, you can say, in there. It was only when his professor noticed him after a month, his maths professor, idiot, what are you doing in BCom? He said, I am, because of this reason, I am there. So he paid 100 from his pocket and shifted him to BSc. So he graduated and then post-graduated, and ultimately you can say came to Mumbai, asked for jobs. Nobody gave him a job. He said, "You don't have any experience." He said, "I graduated in May this year. I'm coming for an interview in June. You idiot, where will I get experience from?" So that was the, you can say, and then he went on to, you can say, BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center. He worked for about 14 or 15 years there from 1982 to 1995. In 1995, with the, after he was married also in the meantime, that is another story for all, other day. So he mentioned that from 1995, 96, he started Thyrocare with the rupees 2 lakh of savings that he had. And the first thing he did was he employed always freshers in his clinic. And he said, "I have given job to 25,000 freshers." And that is indeed a rare feat. So don't underestimate. Yes, we talk of the broken education system that we have in our society, the kind of quality or non-quality graduates that are coming out. But then having said that, if you're delegating work, it is should be based on your skill part. You can say make them undergo a skill exam rather than just looking at experience. Sometimes experience is a false shadow that we all live by, or is the veil or the garb that we all live by. So delegate your work, hire skillful dentists rather than experienced dentists. So you reducing your working hours is absolutely fine, but your clinic reducing your working hours is not fine. Rather than, you can say, having a practice which is dependent only on you, have a practice which runs without you or runs with your partial involvement. As you grow in your practice, you need to spend more time at the back end planning the cases rather than at the front end treating all the cases. So this is the difference, that you need to make a small degree shift. It's not just change the lens you are looking at the things. And of course it'll not affect your income, because then if you're delegating your work, you can take vacations at will. I'm right now on my vacation, I just told you. And it is usually, we always plan a getaway at the year end. This time we decided we'll go on probably 3rd or 4th, because kids were having a holiday after 30th. And then there were a couple of other factors as well. So I planned 1 or 2 days, whatever we planned at the year, and we'll do this time on 3rd and 4th. And a week back, my elder one's date sheet came, exams starting from 4th of January. So we were like, what to do? And I was away last week for 3 days in Bangalore and Delhi, 2 days in Bangalore, 1 day in Delhi. And of course, after that, I had a huge workload backlog as well, because again, multiple reasons, people want to get the treatment done and finished in before the new year. And I spent Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday working like hell. And remember, all these pain point sessions also started from Tuesday onwards. These were planned a month ago. The brochures were ready a month ago. Although we posted it last week, they were all designed, links, QR codes, everything. This is not a one-day job. We need to plan a lot. We need to make time adjustment for this. This was all planned a month ago. Raghu designed these brochures a month back. So we needed that. But then there was a sudden change. Okay, I'll finish up all my possible work till Wednesday, and of course delegate the ones that I'm doing to my associate staff, and they'll be taking care of these things. And the next thing we know is that I was away for Thursday. I planned that Thursday and Friday I'll be away, but that is the way I look at it. I'll be back tomorrow morning to finish off whatever a few cases are there, because new cases to be started are already lined from Monday onwards. And told them very clearly, yes, what do you want? A new year, a new day, a new week, new month. So starting, you want to come still on 1st Jan? Because people in Punjab are a little superstitious. नए साल में डेंटिस्ट के पास नहीं जाना है, नए साल में डॉक्टर के पास नहीं जाना, सारा साल ऐसे बीतेगा. People do that. And we have the, you can say, the freest of the possible days from 1st to 13th of Jan till Lodi. बहुत कम ओपीडी होती है, and we enjoy that phase. So that is I planned a vacation, also planned a workshop also in those dates of 6 and 7 Jan. ठीक है, clinic load will be comparatively less, but we have 3 big cases starting from Monday onwards. Let's hope they turn up and they don't have any superstition. What I mean to say is that number of working hours should not reduce. Our clinic still runs from 8 to 9 hours, 8.5 to 9 max. but I work for 5 to 6 hours. That is the commitment I have. Yes, I did some overtime with my associate. I have one associate working for me. So I had that phase that you can cut down on your work yourself, but the clinic runs for that hours. So take a break wherever you need it. I took a break 3 days last month, last week, 2 days this week, and next week also I have a workshop. I'll take 1 day break from clinic again. So it's not about how longer you are present in clinic, but how longer your clinic is running without you. That is the essential part. So with this, we finish today's session at the stroke of 9, and we will continue from query number 36, 136 from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, from here tomorrow. And of course, just a few announcements for some of you who are watching on Facebook as well, and on, of course, in the Zoom room. So thank you so much. And this is the session that will be coming up in the morning. Again, I'll be doing it from here. And after that, I travel back, and I'll be reaching in the morning schedule itself at my residence. And of course, tomorrow evening session would be there on that. I've missed Thursday's session partly, of course, today morning and yesterday. So I knew this thing may happen. So we have a buffer on Sunday, but Sunday timing, morning may be at the same time, but the evening session time may be different. So I'll inform you tomorrow as per looking at my schedule, because I have a few commitments as well on Sunday. So if I'm able to juggle that, I'll try 4 to 6 or 4 to 5:30 or 6 or 5 to 7. That should be the time for Sunday evening. Morning would go as planned, because I'm desperate to finish these queries in 2023 itself. Even if that means working on a Sunday for this, or even if that means that 1.5 session of 90 minutes goes up to 120 minutes. So keep a margin on Sunday for additional half an hour, because I will finish each and every query. I've clubbed a few queries. Of course, the number may not be 250, but I'm making sure that each and every single query is answered. Probably we'll have 220 or 230, and we are done till 130. Cover another 25-30 tomorrow, and we will be in the 170 zone. And then the last few queries are just, you can say, a breeze through, but I'll still try to complete them. So this is my finance workshop that is coming up. Those of you on Facebook can make a note of it. This is having, of course, although the registration has closed now, but if you want to still register, you can let me know in my personal chat window. So what is the homework for today? Please develop the trait of giving back to the society. I mentioned in the end life, there is one thing known as contribution to the society. It does not need to be always in the cash. It can be in kind. So help those who are attending, who are not attending. There is a huge amount of list of at least जिन्होंने complaint डाला, ऐसे कितने लोग हैं जो attend कर रहे हैं, नहीं कर रहे हैं. So whatever you have, takeaways, posted, and of course you cement your learnings also. Writing is the best form of learning. You can tag me on social media and post on social media as well. My ID everywhere is Dr. Bhavdeep, like this: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want to post, you can post it as your takeaways. Of course, YouTube channel also by same name, Dr. Bhavdeep, and of course, Facebook community known as PSD, Public Plugging Handicaps in Dentistry, or the group is group/Dr. Bhavdeep again. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, if you don't have, you can say, not in my WhatsApp community, please make a note of this. Send me a message. I'll add you there. And do send me a feedback. Bookers and Bookbats both welcome in equal measure. And of course, I stop my share for questions. Whatever questions are posted in the chat, first I'll answer that. Okay, so Dr. Shilpa Rao asks, can we take digital signatures on a consent form? As of now, we take sign on physical copies. No, ma'am, consent laws at present still warrant live physical signatures. You can't have digital signatures. They are not valid in the court of law. Unfortunately, that is the situation even in the today's digital world. You need a physical copy, and you need to retain a physical copy of that for 3 years. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, उसको साइंड कॉपी को स्कैन करके सिस्टम में रख लेते हैं, सो दैट फॉर इजी रेफरेंस लेटर ऑन. सो उसका कंसेंट फॉर्म भी होता है उसके फोल्डर में, जो अनसाइंड होता है इन द वर्ड फॉर्मेट. Signed is in the JPG or the PDF format, because हम उसको edit नहीं कर सकते हैं. So that is why we keep it in that form, so that कल को, for example, मैंने root canal का consent लिया for a 4-5 or for a 3-5. Tomorrow the patient comes to me for a 4-5 or a 4-6. I just need to change the tooth number and copy paste the same consent next time. It is only the first time or the second time that the consent needs to be a little difficult or different. But after that, if you do a proper way of doing the consent as it is done, then you don't need you can say even the lengthiest of the processes. It is just a formality for the patient in that sense. So I hope that answers your query. Okay, thank you, Dr. Divya. Thank you, Dr. Bhavna. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, thank you. So any more questions, please feel free to ask, and of course unmute. Of course, I'm sorry, I think I have not unmuted you. Yes, you can unmute yourself, switch on your camera, and you want to ask anything, please feel free to do. Your view on stock. Okay, Dr. Sabyasachi, sir, your view on stock SIP. It's a personalized choice, Sabyasachi. I still believe that SIP is best done in the mutual fund format, unless it is a stock. I was listening to a podcast early in the morning today. आदत तो है ना, अब चाहे वेकेशन पे कुछ और नींद तो सुबह खुल जानी, बॉडी क्लॉक ही ऐसी है. I was listening to a podcast. He said Rakesh Jhunjhunwala said he made money in this stock. उनके पास 200 portfolios थे, but he made money in 4. Out of one of them was Titan. So and Tata of course. So उनका भी यही है ना कि आपका कौन सा स्टॉक रन करेगा नहीं करेगा, those are there. But he also had Yes Bank, he also had Vedanta, he also had that DHFL. So those things which are big duds also he had that. But we don't talk of failures, we talk of successes. So which stock can be really good, which stock cannot be. I stopped active trading, you can say, in 2017. I still do buy very, very less frequently, but more of disposing of the assets. So looking at May 2024 as the final exit from many, many portfolios that I am holding, because I'm holding them till the elections. I want to, you can say, get out of that. And I want to put my money into more useful form other than stocks, because it becomes difficult for me in the kind of workspace I am to monitor these things regular basis, along with the practice and the coaching that I do. So again, practice is still full time. Maybe I'll cut down on the practice as well. So I'm not a big fan of stock SIP, but if you can dedicate and allocate time into tracking each and everything, go for it. It is a good one. But then only bet on blue chips or A-listers. Don't bet on penny stocks. Thinking कि इसको कम पैसा लगाया ग्रो कर जाएगा, डूब भी जाएगा तो कोई बात नहीं है. Don't take a stock SIP in penny stocks, and take the ones on which are the reliable ones or A-listers. So I hope that answers your query. Dr. Bhavana says you keep the record of the formulated consent and scanned signature consent in the patient's only digitally. Yes, Dr. Bhavana, I do that. एक जो हमने कंसेंट पहले बनाए, हम लोग वर्ड फॉर्मेट, वर्ड पेज में बनते हैं, कॉपी पेस्ट करते हैं, टेम्पलेट्स को बना लिया, टेक अ प्रिंट आउट, टेक अ सिग्नेचर, विटनेस कर दिया, जो अपना कर दिया. वंस दैट इज रेडी, ट्रीटमेंट स्टार्ट कर दिया. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे और द नेक्स्ट डे that is scanned again and as a JPG or a PDF, whichever suitable. कभी मल्टीपल कंसेंट्स होती है तो फिर हम सबको PDF में बना देते हैं, नहीं तो सिंगल JPG में है. वो मेरे स्कैनर में दोनों ऑप्शंस हैं. यू वांट टू टेक आउटपुट एज अ JPG और अ प्रिंट PDF. सिंगल और 2 पेजेस का मैं हमेशा JPG लेता हूँ. मल्टीपल पेजेस होते हैं, मोर देन 3, 4, 5 पेजेस, मल्टीपल कंसेंट्स हैं, तो आई टेक ऑल ऑफ देम टुगेदर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ PDF, सो दैट आई नो इट टुमारो कि हाँ कल को मैंने ये भी प्रोसीजर किया था, कंसेंट इसकी भी ली थी, सो दैट आई नो अगर स्कैन में पड़ा तो इसका मतलब उसकी वर्ड फाइल भी उस फोल्डर में पड़ी होगी. एंड द वर्ड फाइल इज देयर, यू कैन से, इन दैट फोल्डर, देन दैट मीन्स वो अगली बारी के लिए मेरा काम उस पेशेंट में अगर सेम वर्क है, इट मेक्स माई लाइफ इजी and I can redo that even for that patient or even for some other patient of a similar category. तो मैं उसको वर्ड पेस्ट सीधा कॉपी पेस्ट वहीं पे करूंगा, चेंजिंग अ फ्यू थिंग्स जो बेसिकली कंसल्टेशन इंक्लूजन होते हैं, PCIs दैट यू डोंट नो बाय नाउ. तो PCIs को सिर्फ चेंज करते हैं या कुछ और कंडीशन फिजिकल होती है वो चेंज करते हैं, बिकॉज आई डोंट स्टार्ट द पेशेंट सेम डे. हमेशा कंसेंट के लिए मेरे पास टाइम होता ही है, 1 या 2 दिन बीच में होते ही हैं. तो मेक इट इनटू दैट फेज व्हेन इट इज अ कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव केस इन्वॉल्व्ड, वी डू दैट. एंड ऑफ कोर्स जब एक्सप्रेस होती है तो उसमें तो वैसे जरूरत नहीं है. सो आई होप दैट आंसर्स योर क्वेरी. Okay. Dr. Shilpa Rao says, do you have any format of consent to recommend? Ma'am, we teach customized consent forms. There is nothing called as a fixed consent form. We make it fresh for every patient. There is a format that I have developed and I teach that in the consent form workshop. वो 3 दिन की workshop है, record keeping डाल के अब वो 3.0 वर्जन 4 दिन का है. So this workshop used to happen in 2 days and 3 days. Now it is a 3.0 version of 4 days. 1 day for record keeping and 3 days for consent. Maybe a couple of hours more for record keeping. Cut into that. So that is the format. There is not a format which is there, but that format of mine covers each and everything. And still it is a comprehensive consent, and still it is not more than 2 A4 size pages. So jump onto it whenever I do it next. So do patient for Dr. Divya says, do patient photos also come under compulsory patient records? Yes, if you are taking that for the way of diagnosis. If you are using them for diagnosis, for example, if it is a root canal case, sometimes there is no swelling, you won't need any intraoral or extraoral pictures. So I don't take pictures in all cases, except where they are needed to make a diagnosis. So if diagnosis is important, then those pictures are taken. And if yes, how long do we need to keep photos? The same logic of 3 years applies on all the medical records that are need to be maintained, digital, physical, whatever. चाहे वो मॉडल्स हैं, चाहे वो फोटोज हैं, चाहे वो कंसेंट्स हैं, चाहे वो एमआर फॉर्म है, मेडिकल रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म है, चाहे वो केस पेपर है, केस शीट है, एनीथिंग 3 years. माइनर के लिए टिल द टाइम ही टर्न्स माइनर. 6 साल का बच्चा है, 12 साल रखोगे टिल द किड टर्न्स 18. सो रिकॉर्ड में फोटो भी आती है, एक्सपेशली वेयर दे आर यूज्ड फॉर मेकिंग डायग्नोसिस. हाँ, आपको वैसे फोटो लेने का शौक है, जस्ट एन एग्जांपल, कि हाँ मेरे को केसेस की फोटो लेनी है, बिफोर आफ्टर पिक्चर और व्हाटएवर, फॉर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पर्पस. इफ दे आर नॉट हेल्पिंग आउट इन एनी वे ऑफ डायग्नोसिस, वो आप अपना केस रखने के बाद डिलीट कर दो, रख लो, योर चॉइस, डिपेंड्स अपॉन व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू. आई होप दैट आंसर्स योर क्वेरी. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shilpa. Thank you, Dr. Divya. Any more queries? Please feel free to ask. Okay, if we are done, any queries on Facebook? No, there are not any. So if we are done, I see you tomorrow morning at 6:45 for episode number 10 of penultimate episode of the practice management pain points. And of course, I know it is winter, but if you can, please do take out time. I've already posted in the group and I'll be doing it. And of course, once I finish them, then I'll be leaving for my clinic. Definitely. Thank you. Bye-bye and take care and have a great day and have a great end to the year in the coming 2
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.